Hey guys, Michael with ownerbuilderclass.com here. So we've had quite a few questions lately from people who need a home asking whether it makes sense to find an existing home and remodel it to make it what they want, or whether they should build a new home from the ground up, to start from scratch. And keep in mind, these are owner builders looking to manage the remodel or the new home build themselves without having to pay a general contractor. Now, 95% of my career as a professional home builder has been in the construction of new homes from the ground up. So it will probably come as a surprise when I tell you that I would first start by looking at the existing homes for sale in the location that you're interested in. Now, if you can find a home that has 85% of what you're looking for, especially in a crazy tight real estate market like we have right now, and when I say tight, many markets just don't have a ton of inventory available of existing homes for you to choose from. So if you can find a home that has 85% of what you're looking for, that's an existing home, you can work on adjusting the home over time with remodeling to get it to what you want it to be. So let's say the home isn't quite big enough, but it has an unfinished basement that you can finish in the future, or maybe the finishes in the home aren't quite as up to date as you would like, which can be obviously adjusted. Or maybe the home has a 2-car garage and you really wanted a 3-car, but there's room to expand that garage in the future. So these are all good starting points for considering an existing home that doesn't quite have everything that you want, but you know you can get there over time. That being said, there are a couple deal breakers when it comes to buying an existing home with the idea of remodeling it to make it exactly what you want. And I'm only bringing these up because I get a lot of questions about them. One of the most frequent questions I get is whether you should buy an existing ranch home with the intention of putting a second floor on the home in the future. Now, there's really no gray area here. In most cases, the answer is an emphatic no. You shouldn't buy a home with the intention of adding a floor to it up above. This project is a big one, even for an experienced general contractor like me. One of the big issues here relates to the building code for foundations. Now, under the International Residential Code, which many local building departments in the US reference, and they've incorporated this into their codes, the footings for a new home are sized based on the number of stories the home has. So when they're building the house, it may have a 1-story, they're smaller footings. So in many cases, the footings will be inadequate to add that additional level. And the project can be very expensive. The other question I get is, I want to buy an existing home and turn the attic into living space. Again, I really don't like this idea. In many cases, you won't have the proper, head height clearance to add living space in the attic. There are other very specific requirements for this in the building code. Now, you also need 2 points of egress for bedrooms, so to get out of the room in case of a fire. And don't get me started on the challenges of adding a bathroom up in that space. You would also need to consider where to bring the stairs down into the existing living space on the first floor. Now remember, a staircase can take up a lot of existing space on the first floor. So those are the 2 big deal breakers when looking to buy an existing home with the intention of remodeling it to make it exactly what you want in the future. One of the big benefits to buying an existing home to remodel is that you can usually live there while you work on the home. But keep in mind, new homes can come together quickly with proper planning. The open book build prototype home we built was a small and efficient design that only took 3.5 months to finish, from the excavation phase all the way through to the final painting. So depending on the type of new home you want to build, it can be relatively quick to put the project together. Now, one of the big reasons why I like building new homes is because the process is so predictable. Now, once you get past that excavation phase, which can, in rare instances, have surprises, the rest of the project is very predictable. Now, this is why I created the Owner Builder online course for building a new home. Because the process is so consistent, it's possible to show you step by step how to go about building a home from the ground up. Now, this as opposed to remodeling, where each and every project is so different based on the style of the home, the methods used for building it, the year it was built, and taking into consideration the extent of the remodel or addition. Now, then throw in the fact that you really don't know what you'll find inside those walls until you cut them open. So I know this isn't a comprehensive comparison of building a new home versus remodeling an existing one, but I hope I've given you some things to think about to help you choose your best option for your given circumstances. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what's involved in building your own home while taking on the general contractor role, I hope you'll stop by and see me at ownerbuilderclass.com. Thanks for watching.